Well, it's Wednesday night, and we all know what that means. It means it's blood and guts time, everyone. As you know, we've been anticipated this match. This is the second time in 2 years we have this. As you know, last year we had the Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle, but now we have the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the members of Blackpool Combat Club, along with Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz. So who will walk out? Well, we'll find out as soon as we review all of it. But first things first, we're going to review some recent events that took place on the 26th of June. It's going to be the House of Glory with Judas, and of course, ICW No Holds Barred Volume 6. And of course, we're going to do a little small discussion that's talking about, as you know, starting by the end of July is the beginning of the 5-star Grand Prix by Stardom. They have already officially divided who's going to be in what block, and I have to say, there are certain matches that I think we're going to be excited. But however, we also going to find out, other than Amisori, who I also actually, from the last two, made it through to the main race for this. And of course, we cannot forget our news updates, what's been going on in the world of pro wrestling. So, let's get ready with another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J-Rod here. So, let's begin with House of Glory, Judas. Now, you know the term Judas due to the Bible with, of course, the guy who betrayed Jesus Christ. So, I don't know why they picked this name, but I thought it was pretty interesting. So, our opening match is a championship match. This is for the House of Glory Crown Jewel Championship. This is between, of course, legend himself, Homicide, taking on the root of all evil, Charles Mason. Now, keep in mind, Charles Mason is sadistic, but so is Homicide, because he is, of course, the king of New York, because he's done it all. You know, he's the veteran in the game. That's what makes him who he is. But however, does he have what it takes to defeat a guy like Charles Mason? Now, keep in mind, Charles Mason uses every evilest tactic he can think of, like choking his opponent with a garrote or a paper bag. However, it did not happen. But of course, we know there is one thing that devious Homicide can do, and that is use the fork. However, it did not work in the favor. But with the referee with his back turned, of course, Charles Mason uses the low kick, right to the groin on Homicide to retain the title. So the real question does remain: who can defeat this guy with all this dirty tactics? I mean, he literally tried to win this match in any way possible, because he believes money is the root of all evil. Well, I don't believe that. Now, our next match is for the House of Glory Women's Championship. Now, this one is a rather interesting match. We have Masha Slamovich versus Natalia Markova. Now, anybody can see the difference here. There's a reason. Both these women are Russian descent. But the real question is, who's the better one? See that? You look at Natalia Markova. She calls herself the Russian Crush. It's basically she's there to please everyone, all that. But you look at Masha Slamovich, she is there to kick ass and break bones. That's who she is. Of course, she's not going to take this whole cookie cutter hot sexiness that Markova is. She even tries to use every tactic, but you know how it is with Markova. She always finds a way, despite the fact you have every tool in your arsenal. That's who she is. She did that with Sumi Sakai, and it worked. And of course, this time it did this. But however, This one it exactly happened the same way. Again, a similar method, but Markova retained the title. Our next match is Michael Fane taking on Evander, what was his name? Evander James, the captain of House of Glory Police Department. Basically, Michael Fane had enough of this guy James, and he basically tried to kick his ass. He disrespected the police department, but however, Evander James kicked his ass by choke slamming him down into the mat. 1, 2, 3. Good night, Michael Fane. Next match, we got, of course, the House of Glory Cruiserweight title in a 6-way scramble match. Now, initially, the current champion, Casey Navarro, did not want to do this, but he has to by orders of the officials of the House of Glory. His opponents were none other than Super Mantequilla, Nolo Kitano, Encore, Ichiban, and, of course, Lieutenant Joey Silver from the House of Glory PD. One thing I did like is, you know, if you guys have never seen Nolo Kitano, he always has his samurai sword. And, of course, Joey Silver tried to write him up, say, nope, you cannot use it, so you get a ticket. So, basically, Ichiban actually told him, look, put it away, put it away. If you put it away, no ticket. So, basically, it happened. But, unfortunately, this match ended with Casey Navarro retaining the title by super kicking Mantequilla, as you guys know, scratch that. He takes off the mask of Mantequilla and hit him in the groin. Now, keep in mind, Casey Navarro thinks that Mantequilla is a selfish, unblessed hypocrite who did not take the title for granted. As you know, a while back, Red was going to hand over the title to him, but Casey criticized him that he's like saying, you are not blessed. But if you guys know this, Mantequilla has a different way. But sooner or later, he will get his revenge on Casey Navarro and strip him of that title when that time comes. Our next match, we have Ken Broadway, also known as Cash Flow, getting a little payback with one of with the muscle of Charles Mason, Carlos Ramirez. As you know, this match was, of course, Carlos Ramirez did Charles Mason's bidding, taking him out, but Ken Broadway tried to fight back, but so far nothing works until Ramirez took him out. But as you know, he likes to make sure that the opponents and any enemies of Charles Mason are out of the picture for good. But luckily for him, Encore saved the day, helping him. But of course, Ramirez is pissed off. Instead of going to the back, he goes to the front, all pissy, realizing he couldn't get the job done anyway. Now, our next match, we have Lince Dorada versus Loki. I thought this match was pretty good. I think it showed, that Loki still got it. Sooner or later, he will be back on a title hunt. But he has to compete with Lince Dorada. As you guys know, Lince Dorada has a little bit of jiu-jitsu style, but it did not do any well until, of course, he got stomped by Loki. Now, our next match, we have an amazing tag team match. We have the main event, Jay Lyons and Midas Black taking on Los Hermanos Lee, Dralistico and Dragon Lee. Now, this match was insane. I did not anticipate a whole lot on this one because I was like amazed how this match went, but it was completely out of control. I mean, here's the thing. You got two of the most amazing tag teams. Main event are one of those teams that we definitely could see win the tag team titles. But, however, they had to compete with Los Hermanos Lee. And unfortunately, it ended in a double countout. And so far, I'm not sure if we will see another match like this, but I hope we do because it needs to be concluded. Now, our main event is for the House of Glory Heavyweight Title Tournament second round. Now, originally we were supposed to have Jonah versus Eddie Kingston, but unfortunately Eddie Kingston could not make it, so he apologized to the fans who paid tickets to come see him versus Jonah. He was replaced by Jacob Fatu. Now, this was another match you definitely had to see. It was the battle of the big men. This was insane. I was sure many fans were probably thinking, okay, Jonah has this in the bag, but no, it was Fatu, the Samoan werewolf, who walked out as the victor. I was like, wow, that's insane. I just cannot believe exactly what I just saw, but we'll get to that sooner or later. So I think that's pretty much it, what we got with House of Glory. I believe it's time for ICW No Holds Barred Volume 26. Okay, so we got ICW No Holds Bars Volume 6. It opened up with Akira versus a guy named Joker. Now, I want to be more blunt on this. I'm kind of confused. When I heard the name Joker, I thought it was going to be a guy dressed up like the Joker. You know, either purple wrestling gear or whatever he was going to dress it, white face, green lips, or red lips, or green hair. I got lost, to be honest with you. The guy dressed up like Darth Maul. That's not like the Joker to me. I'm kind of like got confused about it. But I'm gonna do my research on this guy just to find out more about him. I wonder why he calls himself Joker if he doesn't act like it. You know what I mean? But that match was very interesting. As you know, Kira, he is one of the best deathmatch wrestlers we have witnessed in a long time. But I did not anticipate Joker was gonna walk out as the victor when he pinned Akira 1, 2, 3. Now our next match, we have Brandon Kurt versus Tommy Vendetta. Now, Brandon Kurt has always been on the losing streak. Now, I don't know what really changed. He had a different type of attitude, and you guys know what I mean. Last time when we saw him, he fought against his own wife, Casey Kurt, and of course encouraged her to one day become the ICW American Deathmatch Champion. I think that's what he wants her to do. But deep down, he knows he can get a win. But I did not anticipate when he put up a very good victory on Vendetta with a somewhat version of the Made in Japan move. So that kind of sealed the deal for him. Next up, we got Bobby Beverly of 440 taking on Casanova Valentine. Now, Casanova, oh my God, he actually put Bobby Beverly to his limits. Now, if you guys know what I'm talking about, it's like Casanova is a different type of breed, but when you think of guys like Bobby Beverly, who's a 440 member, you think they brought out to their limits, but no, it did not. Bobby Beverly did not expect that. He barely survived Casanova until he took him out with a pinfall 1, 2, 3. Next match, we have Joel Bateman versus Casey Kirk. Now, everybody's always behind Casey. I have to say, she showed a lot of balls in this particular match because I was like thinking there is a way she's gonna walk out, no matter what Bateman tries to do with her. And I had to say, she really pulled it off. Completely took him out, put him through some light tubes. 1, 2, 3. It is over right from there. Now our next match, we have Kobe Carino taking on Homicide. Yo, when it comes to Homicide, you know he's crazy. You know he's up to no good. He's gonna do whatever it takes to use violence to win his matches. That's exactly who Homicide is, and he really, really messed up Carino, allowing himself to pick up a good win. Now our next match, we have John Wayne Murdoch Duke taking on Masha Slamovich. I have to say, what a match. I did not anticipate for her to be involved in this match, but if you guys were aware of this or not, Masha Slamovich is in a relationship with, of course, the Death Samurai himself, Akira. I thought it was a pretty good match for her to be in. I didn't anticipate she could handle this type of match, but unfortunately she did not walk out. It was John Wayne Murdoch that walked out as the victor with a pinfall. Now, this is a very interesting development that took place in our main event. Originally, we were supposed to have it was going to be the ICW American Deathmatch Championship between, of course, the champion Eric Ryan 440 against his fellow 440 teammate Atticus Cogar. Now, I tried to find out information about what was going on. Turns out that he was a no-show. So there was no, how do I say, announcements or any indication that he was not going to make it to this particular day. But it turns out that he did not show up on a day, and then Bobby Beverly shows up, tries to get another crack of the title, ended in 30 seconds flat. But however, someone else showed up. Matt Tremont, he showed up to step in the void. Oh my God. This match also went to its limit. However, it was Bobby Beverly that put Matt Tremont in a chokehold, giving him the advantage to win the match and retain the title. So I have to say, pretty good. So I think that's. But however, there is still the word like, why did Acting Scorpion did not show up? It didn't make no sense. I hope he did not piss off the promoter, because that's the last thing anybody needs. I know he talked about his issues that he had with GCW, like right after Art of War, but I don't know. But we'll see what happens then. So right now, I believe let's just end it right here and move on with AEW. Okay, we got AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. This is an event that we've been waiting for. It's almost been a year since we had a Blood and Guts. Our opening match, we have Orange Cassidy along with the Best Friends taking on Ethan Page, who's being accompanied by Dan Lambert. Now, Lambert, who's a piece of garbage that he is, tries to ensure that, Ethan Page wins the match by telling that neither the Best Friends have any mandatory license. He thought that was going to help. Now, keep in mind, Orange Cassidy is a very unorthodox wrestler. That's the thing that Lambert doesn't understand. He criticizes people because, in Lambert's case, he thinks that pro wrestling today has become so stupid, so fragile. Guys like Orange Cassidy don't deserve to be there. He thinks that the real deal is guys like Ethan Page. However, when it comes to it, Orange Cassidy has dealt with guys who want to take him down. You can ask Chris Jericho. He lost to him on many occasions, and I think that's the thing that he doesn't understand. But however, he almost got away with it until Orange Cassidy decided to mess around with him, have some vitamin C. It did not work. He gave not one but two Superman punches on Ego Page before he did a third time a body slam, giving him the advantage. And I'm sure this is a huge embarrassment for Lambert. I'm sure he did not like this to Clinton. He should have known better. Do not underestimate Cassidy. I mean, look, many wrestlers who fought against him underestimated him, but Lambert's is an idiot who did not see it. Now, as you know, what we saw with a couple of weeks ago, we saw Christian Cage turn on Jungle Boy, but somehow he was able to turn Luchasaurus on his side and turn him into much of a darker type of dinosaur. Now, originally we thought that Christian Cage was going to have a match. It turns out it wasn't him. He saved it for Luchasaurus. His match was against Serpentico. Now, Serpentico doesn't want to be there. He got his ass handed to him, but one thing it was clear is that Christian sent a direct message to Jungle Boy by having Luchasaurus applying a version of the snare trap with a forearm on the nerves of the back of the head back, where there's like a nerve stem right there that put him out. So that clearly makes perfect sense. But in the post match, Luchasaurus put Serpentico up and through the mat, basically sending a clear message. Now, our next interview, we have Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow. Now, keep in mind, basically, Scorpio Sky is unimpressed with what he did with 20 wrestlers, but Wardlow's saying, I don't care who you have to bring American Top Team. So that kind of shows us. But however, Scorpio Sky thinks that he can still take him, so he decided to throw in a street fight match on Rampage. So that title will be put on the line. Now, our next match we have is Max Caster along with the Gun Club. Now, if you guys remember what happened at the Buy-In and Forbidden Door, Danhausen made a video that pissed off both Colton and Austin, calling them the Ass Boys. Had like a theme song, like, hey, we're the Ass Boys. So they did not like that. However, they sent a message to Danhausen to say, that the Gun Club and Max Caster will team up to take on Danhausen and partners of his choosing. Danhausen comes out saying that he found a couple of wrestlers that he believes are probably pretty good than him. And to our surprise, it was none other than, of course, FTR. Anthony Bowen was like in shock. I don't think nobody anticipated that. And Taz was like saying, how did he pull it off? He must have cursed him or something. Good point. So it's still unclear on that. But I'm sure maybe Danhausen must have paid them. I'm not sure. But the match was pretty good. They even tried to outslay Danhausen from FTR. However, the one thing that was very clear, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens did say that they were going to take care of Danhausen. Apparently, they messed up. It turns out that Anthony Bowens can talk, can walk, but he accidentally took out Austin Gunn and allowed for Danhausen and FTR to win. But however, it appears that things are not going well. For whatever reason, Billy Gunn sides with the Acclaim instead of his own sons. This has got to be a major blow for both Austin and Colton. Basically, it's like the Acclaim stole their dad from them. if you can believe that. But I'm sure things are going to be exploding sooner than we think. Now, our next match is a TBS title for an open challenge by Jade Cargill and Layla Gray. Now, that match went quicker as possible, but however, they Stokely Hathaway put a promo out, but here comes Athena and Jade Cargill to give a helping hand. Now, later was clear that Stokely Hathaway whispered something to Layla Gray, laid waste to both Statlander and Athena. But however, it's clear that they tried to wipe out Athena and Statlander, but Jade Cargill did not like that for whatever reason. Now think about it. Stokely Hathaway is threatened by the fact that Jade Cargill, he doesn't believe that Athena has a right to challenge for the TBS title, but sooner or later it will happen. Now, the Young Bucks, as you know, are currently they set up a message to Bushiman, Yoshihashi, and Hiroki Goto, and they say if they beat them, they will give them a shot at the AEW World Tag Team title. So that's going to be this coming Friday on Rampage. Now, our main event, the Blood and Guts match. This one was one of the most intensified matches. Now, keep in mind, Jericho, with Inner Circle at the time, lost that match to the Pinnacle thanks to MJF. So this is who walked into the match. As you know, it was the Jericho Appreciation Society that got the lottery. So this is who they have. Sammy Guevara stepped in. Was the first to step in for the Jericho Appreciation Society, and then for the Black Combat Club, we got Claudio Cataloni, who actually went in, and then after that we have Daniel Garcia, then Willard Yuta, Jake Hager, and John Moxley, Andrew Parker, Ortiz, Matt Menard, Santana, Chris Jericho, and Eddie Kingston. Now, they brought a lot of toys in this. Now, the only factor in this match that happened, as you know, the GSA has, of course, the GAS has, of course, Ty Conti in their corner. Now, as soon as Ty Conti tried to help Jericho to get out of the cage, all of a sudden here comes Ruby Soho to deal with Ty Conti. So we may see a feud with Ruby Soho. Now, you ask, why would Ruby Soho come out? Simple. She is close friends with everyone in that, with not only with Kingston, but everyone in that ring that are in line with them. So that kind of stood out. But Jericho tried to escape Kingston, and Kingston was not too far behind. Now, keep in mind, Kingston, he is as sadistic as possible can. However, when Sammy Guevara tried to save him, Kingston gave him a low blow and tossed him off the ring into the ring announcer's table. And of course, Kingston had that sadistic laugh like he was enjoying what he saw. So the real question now goes how this is going to go for the upcoming vlog and everything else, because he's going to be bruised up. But however, Menard tried to make the save but did not work because Claudio shows up, and man, he did the little spinny thingy right on top of the cage. I was a bit of surprised with that. But however, this is where it gets a little bit of the intensity. Jericho was in both Claudio and Eddie Kingston had the submission. But however, it was Menard who tapped out when, of course, Claudio put him in a scorpion in the sharpshooter, forcing him to tap out. And of course, Kingston kind of like was a bit more like, what the hell? Like he had him, like he wanted Jericho to tap out, but Menard was too fast to do it. So, but it did allow them to win. But the real question, how this what happens next? So basically, as you know, Eddie Kingston has issues with Claudio in the past. So that kind of changes a little bit. So we'll see what happens then. So I think that's pretty much it. What we got right now for AEW Dynamite Blood and Guts. I believe let's do a little talk about what's gonna happen, who's involved in what bracket for the Stardom 5-star Grand Prix. This was already announced and recently for a while now. Every year in Stardom, as you know, we have the 5-star Grand Prix. Now, this is an annual tournament. This is more of a point-based system elimination style type. Basically, you have to have a certain amount of points to proceed. Now, we already knew who was in fact going to be in there, but however, the brackets were not set. Unfortunately, there were 3 available spots that said they were going to give it. Now, the wrestlers who are currently between 1 to 3 years of wrestling experience get a shot. Now we already finished with that. Our first entry was of course Ami Sori, who walked in with the whopping 8 points, so she was automatically in. Now who filled up the other 2 points? Recently in Corkin Hall on the 28th, it was revealed Saya Ida made it through, so she got in, and then of course unexpectedly Mai Sakurai actually won and made this will be her first involvement in the 5-star Grand Prix. But she did made a statement about that she's happy, but she's looking forward to facing Tam Nakano. And there's a reason why, but we'll get to that in a bit. Now, as you know, this is not Block A, Block E types that they do it. In Stardom is different. They call it the star blocks. So we have the blue and the red. Now, who is in the blue star block? So this is who we have: Mayu Iwatani, Julia, Saya Kamitani, Starlight Kid, Momo Watanabe, Azuki, Saya Ida, Natsupoi, Mina Shirakawa, Hanan, Mirai, Amistori, and Zuzu Suzuki. Now, there is a very factor that's going on here in this particular block. We noticed Julia and Zuzu Suzuki are in fact in the same block. Now, Zuzu has been dying to get her hands on Julia in the ring. However, Julia has been reluctant, not saying. She said that I will not challenge you in a Stardom ring. Well, however, she may have no other choice. Now, if Julia wants to be a coward and run away, that's her fault, because she will walk if she decides to run away. Because her only ambitions right now, she said ever since she lost to Sudi, that she will be coming for that title. But the only person that right now would stand in her way is Zuzu. So basically, we will see what happens when that day comes, when Julia has to confront Zuzu. Now in the red star block, this is who we have: Sudi, Tam Nakano, Utami Ayashida, Azumi, Koguma, Maika Himeka, Tekla, Unagi Sayaka, Saki Kashima, Mai Sakurai, Risa Serra, and Saki. Now, if you guys notice, Risa Serra from Prominence, will be her first time being here. As you know, Suzuki and Risa Serra are in fact from Prominence. They will be participating. However, I did mention Saki. Now, Saki made the entry also on the 28th of June during the Corkin Hall event, where she teamed up with Mina and Unagi, along with, of course, her tag team partner from Galaxy Punch, Hikari Shimizu, and I thought it was pretty cool. However, I did mention this. Mai Sakurai says she's looking forward to facing Tam Nakano. Looks like she's going to have her chance. Now, why is that important? Like earlier this year, earlier this year, Mai Sakurai ended up in a match against Tam Nakano. Now, Tam was impressed by her skills, but this is before she decided to turn her back on Cosmic Angels and side with DDM. So now she wants to get her hands on her to show her how much she has grown up, that she is stronger now. But the real question is she really strong like she claims she is? Or will she lose again to the Kawhi of the Cosmos? that is something we will find out until that day comes. So that's pretty much what's going to take place. Now, this event will start a 2-day event starting on July 30th and July 31st. It will end on October 1st. So basically, the entire month of August will be all about the 5-star Grand Prix. Now, who do I think is going to win? Now, I'm not going to predict this, but there is one person I definitely want to see win, and that is, of course, Tam Nakano, because I feel that she already surpassed with the white belt. I would love to see her win the red belt, but we'll see what happens then. I will try to keep tabs on everything, even if I don't see the entire shows. That will be my focus. But at the moment, that's what it pretty much is. So let's end it right here and move on with some news updates. Okay, here are what we have for our news updates. So we only have 2 of them that we're going to update everyone's going on. As you know, recently, if you guys been watching Dark or Dark Elevation with AEW, it was reported that Alan Five Angels will be soon be leaving AEW. His contract will be expiring. Now, I know that many of these things happen. Now, this is something that nothing personal, according to Alan Five Angels, but he said he was grateful for them for the opportunity. He even said that because of AEW, he's having a great career in the indie scene. As you know, he's been making name for himself in the independent scenes, as always, because it's not easy in the independent scenes to be well known. So, according to what's going on, his contract will expire by the end of June, and he's, like I said, it's nothing personal. He did not resign because they wanted him to be like per appearances. That's something that many wrestlers do not want, but it's understandable. So he does not hold any grudges with Tony Khan. He was grateful for the opportunity. As you know, we're seeing the Dark Order shorten. You probably ask me, where is Colt Cabana? Well, as you know, Colt Cabana is probably heading to Ring of Honor. He doesn't want to be around CM Punk due to some issues that they had in the past. But we'll see what happens then. Now, you may have heard what's been going on recently. I failed to mention this. In Warrior Wrestling, we have female wrestlers representing the women's wrestling army that has been created by Maria Kanellis, made their appearance. However, new reports are coming in from their Twitter page that they added a new coach, and it is a wrestler named Allison Danger. Now, I may have heard that name before, so it's good news from them that they will be having a coach. Don't know how that would be beneficial for them, but I hope it would give them exactly what they need. However, they did announce that they will be doing a 2-day show in the month of July, the 8th and 9th in Chicago at the Logan Square Auditorium. So if you guys are big fans of that, you can still look into it. It's called Women's Wrestling Army. It's kind of interesting. There have been already 1 or 2 shows they've done, but we'll see what happens then. So I think that's pretty much it. I believe it's time for me to call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Coming up, as you know, it's Thursday. We have, of course, MLW, NXT UK, and Impact Wrestling. However, I will be trying to decide what I want to put before that. I haven't decided yet. I'll keep that as a surprise or just go with the flow, however it feels natural. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time. Same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye. Mwah. And have a nice day. Bang.